Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about my journey to tech and software engineering, so if you're curious, please continue watching. And I'm in my happy place. I can tell you guys the story of how I got into software engineering and tech and moved to San Francisco. It all started with me going to university in Canada. So I went to school in Canada and I actually studied chemical engineering. I didn't study software engineering or computer science, so the way I got into software engineering was actually quite random. My university required me to do internships as part of my bachelor's degree, so if you didn't do a certain amount of internships, you couldn't graduate. I did 2 internships as a chemical engineer, and during the first one I didn't really care because it was just the first job. I was happy I had a job, but during the second one I really started thinking whether I liked what I was doing or not, and I didn't really enjoy the work I was doing and didn't really care enough about the concepts. And when the thought struck me that this is what I could be doing after graduating university for like a long time, I just started getting really scared, thinking, okay, this is not what I want to do. But at the same time, I was really confused because there were so many thoughts in my mind of what I could be doing. I thought finance, management, maybe business, or some kind of other sort of engineering. But I wasn't really set on what is it that I could be interested in, because unless you try, you don't really know. After doing that internship, I happened to be living at a residence on campus that was oriented towards entrepreneurship, and obviously a lot of entrepreneurial ventures there were tech related because that's just the way it is these days. And I was surrounded by a lot of people who studied software engineering or computer science, and I thought startup scene was really cool and technology was cool and you could solve so many different problems with it, and it just seemed so cost efficient to start something up and to start an idea. And I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe I should get into the startup scene, but I was never thinking that I would get into the tech world as a programmer, because to be honest, I took programming classes as part of my chemical engineering curriculum and I absolutely hated them. Now looking back at it, I'm thinking that it's because the problems we were solving with it, we were working in MATLAB and like working on some distillation factory, and I just didn't really care about it. But then some of those tech friends, software engineering, computer science major friends that I had, were like, no, you should totally try maybe taking an online course in computer science and see if you like it or not. And I was always finding a lot of excuses as to why I wouldn't do it. But then at the end of that semester, I was like, okay, screw it. Let me just take a web development, HTML, CSS, super low barrier entry course. And some programmers actually don't even consider HTML to be a programming language, which is fair. But anyway, I decided to go on to Codecademy and do that web development course, and I completed it. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is actually not as bad as I thought. It was actually kind of fun to do it. This is, by the way, one of the best ice creams in the city. They have an amazing honey lavender flavor. But anyway, let's get back to my story. So, I coincidentally again happened to go to Germany for a whole year on academic exchange after completing that semester in the residence and that web development course. And it happened to be that the chemical engineering curriculum in Germany was much lighter than the chemical engineering curriculum in Canada. So I decided that I should just take a gamble and try to study software engineering really hard. And my goal was to get an internship as a software engineer to see whether I actually liked it. Because sure, I found that in school you might like the courses, but the work that you do in the real world might be, or most of the times, is very different from the academic studies in university. So I decided to take a gamble and study really hard to try to get an internship as a software engineer. And as a result, instead of having fun and traveling all over Europe like I was expecting when I was going on exchange, I was just in the library every single day for hours studying computer science and software engineering concepts, and I took extra courses on top of my chemical engineering curriculum in university, took more online courses, worked on a side project with a friend who actually studied computer science there. We were building an Android app, and then when the time came, I started studying for interviews. I started studying for interviews and I started interviewing. I had a ton of supportive friends who were doing mock interviews with me, just telling me more about the interview prep, because it was super different than prepping for interviews in chemical engineering. So it was a huge learning curve, but luckily, because I was surrounded by really caring people, I managed to get a software engineering internship at Yelp in San Francisco, and I went on to be an intern on the Android team. So I ended up doing 2 internships there, and I didn't switch my major. I continued to complete the chemical engineering major and picked up computer science minor in my last year of my bachelor's degree. But after Yelp, I continued doing more tech internships, and basically based on my internship experience, that's how I ended up getting a full-time job in software engineering, in tech, in San Francisco after graduating. So this is essentially my story of how I got here. That's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the section down below. And please tell me your story of how you got into tech. I would love to hear it. Have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.